Those of you who follow this channel will know I'm very partial to eating pink flesh fish, which I try my best to catch. Around a month ago I caught a lovely 2-pound trout, which made a very tasty couple of meals. Unfortunately, as I tried to haul it into the boat, and it was trying its best to stay in the loch, I lost my GoPro Hero 7 video camera when it fell overboard in the excitement of the moment. I confess the GoPro 7 was not my favourite camera. It often crashed during filming, or quickly flattened its batteries when it was supposed to be switched off, but I did miss it. Its small lightweight size allowed me to mount it in a boom over the side of the boat to capture my intimate moments with my fishy dinners. This short clip of catching a tasteless watery flesh pollock was the last clip I got from the camera. Although I caught the big trout shortly after, the boom fell overboard, and although I got it back, the GoPro never worked again, as I'd left the charging port door open and the camera died from drowning. Unfortunately, the video clip recording my fight with the big trout got corrupt when the camera filled with water while it was still filming the moment, so you'll just have to believe me when I say it was at least 5 feet in length. I decided to replace the drowned Hero 7 with the latest model, a Hero 12, as they're offering them for sale at £300, which is the same price as a DJI Action 4 camera, which I'd also been considering. However, the Action 4 cameras were out of stock, which is why I got the Hero 12, and I must say I'm delighted with my purchase. It works flawlessly, has great video quality, and most importantly, it doesn't need a gimbal for steady footage. The rest of this fishy tale was filmed entirely with the Hero 12, and it's now one of my favourite cameras. For fellow video folk like myself who may be watching, I filmed it at 4K resolution at 25 frames per second. I had stabilisation and horizon lock on so the scenery horizon stays level at all times. It's using the linear plus lens mode, as I'm not a big fan of distorted wide-angle shots. And I used a flat colour profile with no sharpener on, as I like to colour grade the footage to my own personal style in Adobe Premiere Pro. And I guess if you're not a fellow videographer, then none of what I've just said will make any sense. But I do hope you enjoy watching the video, which is of lovely Loch Etive. I landed in this little bay to set up the fishing rod and boat depth sounder. I was in the mood to murder another trout or 3 for dinner. No, it wasn't a fish bite, just the lure snagging and a bit of seaweed. Loch Etive is a sea loch, but there's a healthy population of brown trout, as the rain from the hills form a freshwater layer on top of the salt water below, and as such the trout stay in shallow water. Or at least that's where I look for them, and never caught them in deep water. I soon got bored of catching seaweed, as I'm not really a fisherman. I'm more just an old guy who enjoys eating trout. So headed for a wee out-the-way bay where I often camp, as I was craving for a caffeine fix. For those of you who follow my adventures, I am putting a video together illustrating my visits to the campsite this year. There's quite a lot that's happened there. Sadly, I got trashed at the start of July, but that is for a video that I'm still making, so don't want to see any more at present. I will also mention the swans in that video, as there's a tale there to be told too. It was nice seeing the wee out-the-way bay again. I've let the area where I used to camp turn back to its natural state, as in the past I used to keep the bracken cut. I guess if you have not followed my adventures, you will not have a clue what I've been talking about. But if you have enjoyed this video, do come back and watch my forthcoming video on the wee out-the-way bay. It explains all. I really made this video to illustrate how well the GoPro Hero 12 action camera works. So it's now time for some action, i.e. tormenting trout. I confess I went home hungry this day, as although I caught or lost around a dozen trout, they're all too small to keep and eat. Although I enjoyed tormenting the trout for an hour, I don't have the patience to fish for hours on end, so I was just as happy towing the lure behind the boat than watching the scenery float past. It was one of the hottest days of summer, and the fact there was not a breath of wind made it feel even better. But what really made my day was the GoPro Hero 12 worked flawlessly in its first outing. It started every time I pressed the capture button and switched on a second after it was asked. It shut itself down when asked, and after a full day of filming, still had 25% battery left. So as mentioned earlier, I'm delighted with it. And in fact, I'm quite happy the Hero 7 drowned itself, or I would still be cursing GoPro cameras. They have improved a lot over the past few years, and I still can't believe how steady the footage is without using a gimbal. If only it could zoom in and out, they might have replaced my Sony video cameras too. But then, nothing is ever perfect, or if it was, I would have caught another 2-pound trout that day. I hope you've enjoyed watching the GoPro video, and thanks for listening to my fishy tale.